do we need to keep this door open or should we close it?
Leave it open. It's a public meeting unless it gets noisy out there.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and call this work session for the Orem City Planning Commission to order at 4:40 PM on January 7th. City Council Conference Room. And we will begin with the discussion about chair and vice chair election. That's what it's.
We can start there. I don't know if anybody else is not, I know that Haysom's not going to make it tonight. I don't think I've heard from anybody else. So has anybody else heard from
I
him?
talked to Jim. I think he's doing well.
Okay.
He's sick.
Yeah, he's been having some health problems.
Darn it. Yeah, that's okay. So but we can talk about the elections anyway. I just thought if somebody might be showing up in the next few minutes, we could wait for them, but we can go ahead and get started. So the bylaws, we were going over the bylaws this morning, Matt and I, and the Planning Commission's bylaws state that every year a new chair and vice chair have to be elected, by the commissioners to serve for a year. There is not any instruction about how many consecutive terms people can serve. It's just supposed to be done at the first meeting of the year and then to take effect for the second meeting of the year. So in effect today, no matter what happens, Mike and Madeline are still the chair and vice chair, regardless of the outcomes of your election as a commission for the new year's vice chair. It's also supposed to be done by ballot. Last year we did it just by nominating and votes, but it's actually supposed to be done by a ballot. So I've taken the liberty of writing up a little ballot for you. You can fill that out and then we'll count them up. And then we put an item on the main agenda so we can make an announcement or whatever. But we can do the election in here if you want in the work session prior and see how that goes with only the four of you. If you want to have any discussion about it, we can do that. That's really up to you. Other than that, we can just, before the meeting is over, we'll hand out the ballots and I'll collect them and count them up. If that makes sense.
Yes.
Anybody have questions about it or how that would work? Okay, that's it. I've got ballots. We can do it. Do we need to have any discussion or at all, or are we good?
Questions, do we need to do nominations at all? We never specified.
It doesn't say that in the bylaws. It just says to do a ballot.
Whoever you want.
So what I did was I made a ballot that just says, oh, go ahead, Mike.
Recommend that if somebody doesn't want to do it, everybody voted for him says, no, I don't want to do that. It's just kind of a waste of time, right? So,
Yeah, true.
you know, certainly if people have an interest in holding the chair, which is the workload.
No voting for Gary. No voting for Gary.
I refuse to serve it.
Don't write Gary in as a candidate. He doesn't want to do it.
There's no right.
You get my point, though. You know, the bulk is the chair. I mean, Madeline does 98.999% of everything. So.
True. So if you have somebody who doesn't want to do it, for sure, it's fine if they want to make that known. Absolutely. Other than that, what I did was just put
And it's okay if
you do
rather than necessarily nominations and then, somebody nominates in a second and vote.
Done it so many different ways, so I just.
Yeah, you can say, well, hey, I recommend that we vote for Gary. And then, you could have a discussion about that.
We should all vote for Gary.
Well, no.
So contradictory today. You're such a lawyer.
Well, no, so that you could say that, and then it would be appropriate to say, I think that's a horrible idea for someone else to say that and just show that. And then anytime you're ready.
That's the politician in it.
And anytime you're ready, we can hand those ballots out and then you can make a quick vote and just be done. But you have a quorum, so you can go forward and vote for.
Yes, but do we have to have, no, I'm just kidding.
No.
After every vote we've had problems with, because there's only been 4 of us.
Right.
To be 4 people, the affirmative.
So I don't think we need to discuss anything. As Mike said, if people don't want to do it, they make that known. It's how pass the ballots out and
Go for it.
well,
What I did for the ballot is just everybody's name is down the side and then there's a box for chair and a box for vice chair. You just mark your choices. You don't put your name on it or anything. I assume secret ballot. I have no idea. It doesn't say, but I'm going to go with secret ballot. You can fold it so no one can see.
I think that's the intent.
Give it to one of us.
And, yeah, if we're doing it by ballot, we're doing it by secret ballot.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, I think that's also why we put ballot.
Ballot, yes.
So
As opposed
that
to the public
people
vote.
didn't have to publicly
Sure.
put themselves out there if they didn't want
So
to.
that's what I've got for that. Other than that, for this meeting, we agendized saying we can review items that are on the agenda tonight on the regular agenda. We talk about whatever you want. We didn't prepare anything new for the general plan with it being the first meeting and not knowing how things were going forward. We've been meeting to talk about general plan. We didn't do any of that this week. You guys are aware we lost Grant. He went to Taylorsville to start his new job there. Started his new life under a new name. No one knows who he is. It's kind of a planner's witness protection program in Taylorsville now. So, but yeah, with Grant's departure, we're going to pick the general plan back up again as we go forward. We didn't have anything new for this week. So there's that. You guys have questions about anything on the agenda? Regular meeting?
I have an update or two. I don't know if I'm going to stay.
We can do that first, or we can do the election, either way.
Yeah, and it's up to you guys, but just telling you, I do have some updates and things that we could.
Just do him first.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
go for
doesn't
it.
feel.
The heart of downtown, and some of you have been involved and our consultant has come in. They are coming into town on the 27th to talk to the council and provide kind of a final, a draft which the council could consider and look at and ask questions about. And so what we're going to do, the council meeting on the 27th of this month starts, the work session starts at 3:30. They won't be the first one on the agenda. What we're going to do is ask them to come and be here at 3 and talk to, they've met with different boards and commissions and groups and people and invite anybody who they've ever met with to come in and they can give a little presentation about where they're at, what they're going to tell the council. So at 3 on the 27th.
Here.
Yeah, not in this room. It'll be up in the Ponderosa room, up on the second floor. But we'll end up sending you an email and letting you formally know about it. I'm just giving you a heads up so that you could put some things down and be aware of that. So yeah, that's coming along pretty well. They're finishing up some things. They have a sub-consultant on it from Zions Bank Public Finance, and they're looking at numbers and projections of revenues, because always a part of something like this is pay for itself. How are we going to do this? What are we doing? Okay.
Okay, anything else?
No.
I'm gonna hit a button, so you might hear something, just so it doesn't startle you. I do have a broadcast going. I wanna make sure that I'm getting a double recording on here.
Okay.
So just, you might. There you go. Okay, so we've been broadcasting this whole time. This one's just saving a backup to my computer, just in case.
Good. Sounds good.
The no further updates on the heart of downtown. Any questions about the training? Talked about open public meetings and municipal officers, employees ethics act and things like that last time. Any questions come up? If you're like me, I usually sit through a presentation and then on the way home, it's like, oh, I should have asked that. Oh, well, what about this? Okay. All right. Well, if something comes up, not a big deal.
Okay.
We'll just let me know and we can talk about it.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Excellent.
Okay,
Okay.
back to the elections then, I guess.
Yeah, if you want to go back to the elections, we'll pass these out, or you guys can talk about it a little bit, or whatever you want.
You would not want to be considered? Okay.
Well, I brought 7 identical blue pens.
Use your blue pen.
Turning off the overhead camera.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that.
Oh.
You'll just have to bend way over your ballots.
Bend over.
And as Aaron was, because it is open public meetings, well, if it's all right, we'll.
Didn't that show?
Is give you guys the ballot,
I should know it, but
go through the,
Because that's the
go through the
one.
balloting.
All of
There
this.
you go.
Regular.
Oh.
oh,
Yeah.
It was from Fletch.
Fletch.
Okay. I always think of Bart Simpson.
Yeah.
Mars.
Probably stole it from
Probably did.
Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
Probably did.
Yeah, I need your voter registrations, birth certificates.
Signatures.
Exactly. I want to match some signatures. Never 2 signatures
I
the
keep
same.
trying to change mine. It's not working very well.
Now, just what you be aware,
Singapore.
I was talking, this was a few years ago, to one of the assistant county clerks. And they had made a presentation on stuff and elections, and I was asking her, boy, you ever run into voter fraud? Is that a big issue? She goes, no, not really, but actually there is some, and you'd be very surprised by it when I tell you what. I was like, oh, yeah, tell me. He said, there are so many sweet mothers of LDS missionaries who get a mail-in ballot, and they talk to their son or daughter and say, oh, a ballot came for you. Who do you want to vote for? And they fill out the ballot form and sign their name to it and send it in. And then they come to find out, oh, did you know you technically can't do that? Well, they told me who.
Not even technically. It's against the law.
Yeah, it's against the law. And they're like, oh, I had no idea. And so every year we get a handful of those because people just don't realize, and they're not really trying to commit fraud. They're just doing something that they had no clue was a problem.
It might be a small problem.
I had never even thought about that. So every year when we get mail-in ballots, and I tell my wife, said, well, are you going to fill the ones out for the kids? And she says, yes. So, no, she does not. That's being recorded and broadcast. The answer is no.
I've never done such a thing.
Oh, funny. Okay, I can look at them now and let you know what's going on, or I can surprise you in the main meeting.
Go look and.
However you want to do it. I can go to the clerk's office here with a
Go
sandwich.
look at the kitchen.
I'll go that way. And you guys can tell us, you want to start having your lunches or your sandwiches, go for it.
Yeah.
Other than that, that's the business we have for free meetings. So you've got,
Okay.
So do we have a process for rejected ballots and how they're going?
I was gonna say, who wants to observe the
Attorneys from
counting?
each side.
We need to have someone observe the counting, so.
yeah,
Here's mine.
We have a process for it.
yes. If you haven't filled it out properly, I'm sorry, I can't help. You cast your ballot aside and all.
I'm not serious for writing about this.
Florida's not a safe place for cat.
All right, no, I'll let you know and we'll go. In the main meeting, we have an item on the agenda, 3.1.
4.1.
You can make an announcement, so
Okay.
it'll open public.
Okay, then we'll just adjourn right now.
Adjourn and grab your sandwiches and I'll let you
Okay.
know before the meeting.
Then we'll adjourn until our regular meeting,
Okay.
5:30.
Come grab your sandwiches and stuff.
Oh. Okay. All right, we will begin our planning commission meeting and call it to order at 5:30 PM on January 7th, 2026 in the city council chambers here in Orem. And we will begin with an invocation by Jerry.
Our Father in heaven, we're grateful this day for thy many blessings. We're grateful for the opportunity of serving this wonderful city we live in. We're grateful for our nation, and we pray for our leaders, both in the city and in our nation. We pray that thou will bless us as we consider the motions before us today, that we might be guided to do that which is in the best interest of the citizens of our city. Again, we're grateful for all thou hast given us, and we say this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you. Okay, we'll begin with item 3, which is our consent agenda that comprises of item 3.1, approval of minutes from December 3rd, 2025 Planning Commission meeting, and item 3.2, which is approval of minutes from the December 17th, 2025 Planning Commission meeting. Do I have a motion or any concerns?
I move the Orem City Planning Commission approve items 3.1 and 3.2 or 3.1. Yes,
You're fine. Of the consent agenda.
of the consent agenda. Sorry.
So you're good. And can I have a second?
I second it.
Okay, Mike moved and Rod seconded that we approve the consent agenda items. Rod?
Aye.
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 Okay, consent agenda items are approved. We'll move on to item 4.1, which is our annual election of our planning commission chair and vice chair for 2026. Jerry?
Thanks. Real quickly, we did the ballots during the work session. According to the ballots, the chair would be Madeline and the vice chair would be Mike. What we'd ask you to do is to ratify that by a vote here in the public part of the meeting.
Okay. Could I?
I move that we ratify the results of the election
Okay, do I have a second?
with
Oh, go ahead.
Madeline as chair and Mike as vice chair.
Thank you. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump the gun there. Second?
I second it.
Oh, Mike made it just before Jerry. I'll give it to Jerry. Jerry's going to second that. So Rod moved and Jerry seconded that we approve me as chair for this year and Mike as vice chair. I'll begin the voting with Mike.
Aye.
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 Okay, that was unanimous. We will continue as chair and vice chair. And then we'll move on to item 4.2, which is a preliminary plat, Rolling Sands Plat A, located at approximately 1765 South Sand Hill Road. And it's a creation of a flag lot. This was before us a few,
December 17th.
December 17th. It's been a long, it's only
It
been
was the holidays.
It's the holidays.
It's been approximately 3 years during that 3 weeks.
So, do you want to do any introduction? Because
I can run through them again if you'd like through the slides, however you'd like me to do that.
I'm going to propose that because we have almost the exact same makeup as we had last time. And I know, I'm just being, sorry, almost. Okay, it is exactly the same as it was last time. And given the outcome of the voting, I would propose that we continue this item until we have more of our planning commission present.
Sure.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. So I moved and Mike seconded. See, this is if I don't write it down and then I can't remember. I moved, Mike seconded that we continue this item to the next planning commission meeting,
21st.
January 21st. Thank you. Did voting
Take the
now.
vote.
Take the vote. I know, I'm getting there.
Just trying to help you.
Thank you. That's why you're my vice chair. Rod,
Aye.
say it again with your mic on.
Aye.
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 Okay, then we will continue that item until January 21st.
Thank you. We'll put it back on the agenda.
Okay. And then that gets us to item 4.3, which is a public hearing for the Johnson's Farm rezone with a redevelopment agreement located at approximately 1738 South Geneva Road. It's 4.43 acres, being rezoned from the OS5 to the C2 zoning. And this also has been before us before. We will have a public,
Yes.
it's a public hearing, so we will open for comments. But this is coming back to us again.
It's coming back to you again, the same way it did before, but with a development agreement attached. We went through that and I'll focus on that real quickly and we can talk about it. But just for the record, because it is a new public hearing, I want to quickly go through kind of the basics. All right. So like you said, it's going from OS5 to C2. That's the request. The purpose is to develop these flex retail spaces. OS5 is low density residential. C2 is retail focused commercial. And this concept plan that you see before you would be part of that development agreement as well. So if we talk about the development agreement, it would do three things essentially. It would set that concept plan and elevations as the required development for this rezone. It would limit business hours of operations on the site for everybody between 5 a.m. and 12 a.m. midnight. And it would prohibit any outdoor storage at all, but then certain other uses that are normally allowed in the C2 zone would also be prohibited. And we've listed them there. They mostly have to do with automobile-oriented businesses. That was kind of the concern that came up in the public hearings before the Planning Commission and the City Council last time. And the City Council, when they reviewed it, felt like they wanted to approve, but they felt like they should attach a development agreement that would further limit those things. Mr. Washburn, the applicant, was comfortable with that, and so they agreed to go back and do the development agreement. That was attached to your report packets as well, so you could see that. They're ready to execute and do that if that's acceptable. So you have any questions about what that development agreement would do or what that would mean for this C2 zone? So it would be C2 zoning, but then bound further by this development agreement.
That just means they can't do these businesses in the C2, even though normally they
Even
can.
though they're allowed in the C2. So it doesn't modify the C2 zone. It just modifies this property's ability to fully use the C2 zone. That's correct, Mike. Thanks.
Any other questions for staff? Does the applicant want to come forward and say anything?
Thank you. The development agreement has been executed on our part. All of these uses are ones we discussed at the meeting. We didn't want to have on the property anyway. We were going to do it with CCNRs, but we're comfortable with the development agreement.
Thank you. Any questions for the applicant? Sorry.
Was renoticed as a public hearing, so if you would do
Yeah,
comment.
I will. I was about to.
Okay,
Sorry.
thank you.
There's just
A lot of
literally a
sirens.
lot of sirens and flashing lights right outside the window. So, okay, we will go ahead and open for a public hearing at this time. If you could come forward and state your name and please limit your comments to 3 minutes. We'd appreciate it. And we'll go ahead and open the public hearing. Okay, since no one's coming forward, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing regarding this matter. So, Jared, was there anything else you wanted?
No, I don't think so. I think everything else is pretty much as you would remember it from the first public hearing. The property has been created because of new rights of way, and that's really the reason that this has come up. It's no longer really suitable for use in that OS5 zone and any of the uses that are allowed there, including the residential. At 5 acres, it's less than the 5 acres that we would require for a home. So it makes some sense in that regard. And the development agreement, staff is in agreement, feel like it makes it more tolerable for the neighborhood that it'll be near. So
Okay.
if you have any questions for us, we're happy to try to answer.
Yeah. And if I remember from last time, because I think Mike wasn't here that time, we did have one person from the public come and speak to us about changing the uses and stuff. And I think if I remember correctly, they were
Concerned about traffic.
concerned about, a little less enthused, but as we discussed it, there's a lot of things like we were like the fact that the access is on the backside and it'll be on the Geneva stub and not on, they will not have access on Lakeview. And so there'll be no exiting there. So it'll all be internal. And, as was mentioned, trying to keep it to what can be done, but it's splitting the the owner's property anyway, with what's going on. And that's one of the best uses that's being proposed. So just to cover that so that
Yeah.
everyone was up to speed before I say, let's discuss it. So are there any other questions for the applicant or for Jared? Okay, all right. Then either discussion or motion. If anyone wants to discuss anything, we can.
I move that the Orem City Planning Commission forward a recommendation of approval to the City Council for the request to amend Article 22-5-3 Alpha and the zoning map of the city of Orem by changing the zone of property located generally at 1738 South Geneva Road from open space OS 5 to community commercial Charlie 2, subject to the development agreement as proposed, approximately 4.43 acres.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, Rod moved and Mike seconded that we forward approval to, a recommendation of approval to the city council on this item. And then, Rod, would you like to vote?
Aye.
I,
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we will forward a positive recommendation to city council. And then we don't have any further business, anything else from staff?
No,
Okay,
thanks.
then we will, can I get a motion to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn, go
Okay.
home.
Do we have a second?
I second it.
Okay, Rod moved and Jerry second that we adjourn. So, Mike?
Aye.
Aye.
I.
Aye.
Okay, then we're adjourned at 5:41 PM. Thank you
Thanks,
very
everybody.
much.
So we have the same problem. If one of us would have